All right, and we are back, and we are also home, so on the main rig, and we can just jump right in today. Now, after summoning my Persephone, I wanted to recover a topic that's in the channel, except for it's buried underneath a couple hundred episodes of Monster Super League at this point. And so, since we're starting the new player account, it's easier to show this on the main account than it is with the baby account. But I want to talk about how to gem your Astromon. Now, with that is a caveat. I am not the be-all end-all. I am a casual player. I know how to gem Astromon, but there's not necessarily a one size fits all. Okay, I am going to give a general thought process on here, much like how Elio gives out you guys great tips, which I should just always, if you're curious about stuff, he does a great job of showing it. I'm going to kind of do that here, but give you the foundation so that when you get a new Astromon, you can evaluate it yourself, and then you can kind of go from there on what kind of situation do you want this Astromon to be in. Is it going to be PvP? Is it going to be PvE? Is it going to be a farming Astromon? What have you? So we're going to start here with my light Persephone. So your Astromon can be one of 5 types. It can be a tank, it can be a defender, it can be an attacker, it can be a balanced, or it can be a recovery Astromon. Those are the 5 types that you can have. And all that means is it modifies one specific stat. So a tank is going to go after HP, attacker is an attacker, defender is a defender, a recovery is a recovery, and the hardest one in my opinion is a balanced Astromon like Water Persephone here. This is one that is hard to go after, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But coming back to our light Persephone, we know already off the bat she's a defender. So that means out of her 3 primary stats, because we're not going to, you could look at HP, but again, it's hard. It's easier to show it here. You can see out of her attack, defense, and recovery, defense is a lot higher than any other stat. Thus, that is kind of what you would assume you want to jump into. But remember, what type the Astromon is not the end of the story. We need to look at their kit, because depending on their kit is going to depend, whatever their kit is going to depend on what gems, or it's going to enhance or take away from the gems, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. So looking at Light Persephone's kit, she has Morale Boost, which is great, good Team Astromon here, and then she has Shock. So not only does she do damage, but she has a chance to shock. So right off the bat, again, this is not an Astromon that's built towards dealing the damage, but more so giving your team their SP, as well as hopefully doing some type of, crowd control ability for you. And this gets enhanced if you can actually book her up to, that'd be, 70% chance? So not too high, but not too low, okay? But the point here is there is no gems that enhance any of this. There's no gems that you can use that gets better morale boost. There's no gems that help you get more shock out of anything. So what I meant earlier about the gems here, that there is no gems that specifically help enhance her kit. And I use Water Persephone again here as an example of this is a balanced Astromon. So you might look at this and go, well, how do I mess with this Astromon? Like, do I put HP on her? Do I put defense? Do I put attack, right? Her stats are quote unquote balanced, And what I mean about checking out their kit is there's one key thing here that lets it work, and that is the adrenaline. Adrenaline attacks restore HP equal to 10% of your own maximum HP. Therefore, another reason to go back to why I suggested pulls for Water Persephone is she can double, not only because of the variant and being a critical hit rate, she can also do a semi keep you alive long enough to survive a lot of things, right? It's that little bit of healing that comes down. So not only do we then gem for, I have personally, right, gemmed for HP, I'm also healing for over 15,000 every time my Water Persephone single attacks. And that's what all these gems are. They are nothing but HP percents, okay? And that's the one thing I want you to always remember is just because it says they're balanced, there's an attacker, there may be an opportunity for you to gem to enhance the Astromon to bring them over, going over their current abilities, right? Even with my Dark Persephone here, again, looking at her kit, there are no gems that change what she does. So this is where we can just say, I want a straight up glass cannon. I have crit rate on her, I have attack percent gems on her, and that's all I go. And with the SP drain, it just makes it so she can use her special ability over and over and over, and that's where that goes. So bringing this back to my Light Persephone, right? It's the same kind of idea is, what do we want from this Astromon now? Okay, we know her kit is not going to be affected by whatever gems we choose. This is where the content you wish to use this Astromon comes into play. Again, if I'm out farming, I'm not necessarily going to sit here and be like, I'm not going to put this anything special on her for that. However, since this is more of my place for her is more on my PvP team, the idea is to keep her alive. Now, there are several sets that we can go through on here, and I'll talk about them. Again, the Gem of Protection set is not a bad idea because of the bonus. It's 20% more defense. And if you guys wonder, again, how defense really helps your Astromon, it just it reduces the damage that's incoming no matter what. You get this stat high enough and you'll be able to literally live through a hit of, let's say, my Dark Persephone hitting you. And that's why I make the joke all the time of, at the beginning, I'm like, let's do a gem check. Let's see if people are actually gemming Astromon who are defenders or tanks with enough HP to be able to take a hit. And so with that in mind, Gem of Protection comes into play here. More defense means more, you can take more. So the question though then comes down is, do you just start stacking defense? And this is where you have to kind of feel that out for yourself. There's no right or wrong way. Obviously you could do attack percent here, but once again, we're not worried about Light Persephone doing an omega amount of damage, right? We have this for that. Or you have your attacking Astromon again for the newer account. You're gonna have Light Arthur fully evolved, ultimate evolved, all that jazz. You're gonna eventually have your Water Valkyrie. So you have your heavy hitters here. So once again, we're not looking for Light Persephone, for me at least, to do the damage. So again, the Gem of Protection is not a bad idea, not an attack percent gem. I would do something more like along the lines of defense, maybe some HP. So I don't even know if I have an HP percent for me. Don't need to worry about crit rate. Crit rate doesn't matter. And why am I doing that when we can just say I want HP percent? And yes, I have 1 HP percent. So I would honestly go like HP percent, defense percent, and or maybe HP, defense, and a resist. More resistance to crowd control is just going to keep me alive quicker. And that's just a general idea of how gemming works, okay? For here, there's an argument that could be made to use this for more HP on her. Do again, defense, HP, and then with an HP 20%, Persephone's not only going to take less of a hit, she can also take, less of a hit, she's going to have more HP to live the hit. Okay, there's an argument to be said through the Gem of Conviction, and more resistance means less time she's actually, taking those crowd controls. All of this just plays into itself. And again, I could cover this over and over again, but the foundation is here. What you want to always look at is, first of all, what type the Astromon is, and then second of all, go down and look at the kit and see if gems can enhance this kit. Because if they can't, then it just comes down to where does this Astromon fit in on that team. And again, playing throughout the game, that's just something you will eventually learn and go through. But hopefully this helps. If you guys have any questions about gems, gemming down, put them down in the comment section below. I will get to them. But again, it's really simple to kind of come through here and just evaluate Astromon. And this is another way you see their quote-unquote their viability. You see whether or not an Astromon is actually worthwhile on your team for what you were trying to accomplish, whether that be a team player, like again, Light Persephone here is to me a team player just because of this morale boost, giving that to the allies when she attacks. versus an Astromon who is just straight up, I'm going to I mean, again, my Dark Persephone, she is just about herself. However, she destroys the entire other team because of her active skill, and it does more damage. So, but again, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.